Yes, ma'am, you are audible.
Okay.
Hello, good morning, ma'am. Hello,
Yeah, good
Nidisha, ma'am.
morning. Yes, good morning. Good
Good
morning.
morning. Ma'am, just wait for another 2 minutes
Sure.
because joining 70 participants are there. Okay, we are
Yeah,
expecting
78. Uh-huh.
Dr. Shweta Umare here. Good morning, everyone.
Good
Honorary
morning.
Secretary of Saint Welfare Education Society, Dr. Keshav Badaya sir. Today's guest of honor is M. Nidhisha Shri ma'am, a career coach at LND Hyderabad. Yes, ma'am. The principal of Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj Institute of Technology, Dr. Dharmendra Dubey sir. My all colleagues and dear students, I heartily welcome you all for today's session. It's a great opportunity for us to listen today's guest of honor, Miss M. Nidhisha Shriman. She is a career coach with a 7+ years of experience in L&D industry, helping people with a career growth in upskilling and landing well-paid job. She is a dynamic person and will serve a great source of knowledge for us. On the behalf of Saint Welfare Education Society, I heartily welcome you, ma'am, and assure you that you will feel a great experience while communicating with our students. Ma'am, your expertization and knowledge will definitely benefit to our students. We are very honored to have you with us on this platform. Thank you so much for accepting our invitation and sharing a valuable time with us. Our honorary secretary, Dr. Keshav Badaya sir, couldn't join the today's session because of his busy schedule. But his guidance and blessings are always with us. He is a dynamic person with a distant vision and always supports us to conduct such a sessions. Our principal sir, Dr. Dharmendra Dubey sir, whose guidance and support made us easy to conduct such a great webinar. Principal sir, you always motivate us and strengthen us, and because of you only we got an opportunity to organize today's webinar. Yes, MIT organizes webinars consistently for students to gain information and be effectively associated with the resource person. So we again welcome you all for the today's session, and without wasting much time, I hand over the session to today's guest of honor. Ma'am, most welcome, and you can start with the session. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Ms. Shweta. Thank you for that. Students, one quick request. I would request all of you to switch on your cameras, which will be easy for me to communicate, or it will be a one-way thing where I'll just communicate and I'll not be able to understand whether, if you have got any kind of queries or something. It will not be interactive.
Hello, students. Put your cameras on. Yes, all of you.
Thank you, Mr. Khan Abu. Others as well, I would request you to switch on your cameras. It will be interactive, or else it will just be a boring session. I don't want the session to be a boring one, where you will understand about the industry insights and all. Thank you all. I see the cameras being on, going live. Great. So first things first. So we'll be commencing the session now. So we have final year students or third year students as well. So you're from which?
Both
You
ma'am.
can just
Uh,
both. Okay,
from
great,
the class.
great. So all of you are from computer science.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
And I believe all of you are comfortable with English, right?
Yes.
Okay, great. Uh, so I'm Nidisha, and I am working as senior manager at an edtech company, which is into career coaching, where I deal with the entire South Zone. I head with the South Zone. On the other hand, I'm a career coach where I help professionals between the ages of 18 to 45 in landing career paths and respective careers with high packages. So today, the agenda of today's particular webinar is about profile building. So now that you're in your third and fourth years, to land high package jobs, what is that matters, and how to build your profile is what we will be discussing. Okay, at any point if you have got queries, you can just pause me and you can just ask the queries. How many of you are aware how the industries work or what is the current market? You can just raise your hand. Do you have any idea what is the current market like? What is the current industry? Because all of you are from CSE and you know that is the most on demand one. Students, you can utilize this opportunity to ask the queries and be interactive, because it's a rarer thing that you get to understand the industry part. So any idea like what is the current market, and what are the industries looking for?
Hi, ma'am. Am I audible?
Absolutely, yeah, please.
Mostly, I think the industries are looking for self-experienced professionals who have individual knowledge and experience, who can handle multiple job in a single engineer, like multi-talented and multitasking engineers.
Okay, thank you for that, Rayan Sheikh. Great. So I would just brief the things about here. So first things first, in today's session, we'll be discussing about what exactly is the current market demand, what industries are looking for, and then we'll be having a practical based approach. Please remember that this is not just a one-way webinar where I will just teach you something, but you will also work on your, okay, all of you are from mobiles. I would request majority of you, in case if you can join from laptop, you can just work simultaneously as well. Or in fact, in case if you're joining from mobile as well, if you have got laptops, you can simultaneously work on it. So how many of you are having your laptops beside you? All of you have got laptops with you?
Yes, ma'am.
Great then. So it will be a fun session. I'll make you do the exploring part of where you will be setting up your respective career goal in line with your profile mapping. Okay. So now, yes, the very first thing. So, as I said, I have 7 years of experience where I have been helping students and professionals across the ages between 18 to 45 in landing careers. And when I say landing careers, it is about specific career paths where the respective individual is interested in, and the strength of the individual and also the market demand is being mapped. So this is about the brief part of it. Now, moving forward, in this session, we'll be first we'll understand about, when I say market demand, what exactly the market is currently, what are the topmost technologies? Anyone, what is that we have the
Okay.
on-demand technologies in the market currently? Anyone? Are you aware?
Yeah,
Blockchain.
ma'am. Artificial intelligence and machine learning
Great.
are currently in top demand in market.
Yeah, great. Thank you for that,
So,
Ryan. Yeah. Anyone else you want to add?
Yeah, so
Ma'am, I
there is
guess data
blockchain,
science
which
is
is currently
also
in
in
very
demand
trending.
nowadays.
One second. I have Aditya as well, Indranil as well. So once Aditya, you can just unmute and speak. Yeah, please say.
Yeah, so blockchain is currently trending, and so like the cryptocurrencies are in the market right now. So they are like
Yeah.
right now they are capturing very much like the e-commerce market and the payment solutions. So blockchain
Okay.
is very important from my side.
Okay. Great. And Indranil, you were saying something, please.
Yes, ma'am. I was saying that data science is also a booming field in computer science.
Great. Great. So now we have here three mentions. That is, one is the blockchain part, the other one is the AI, that is AI/ML, and then we've got the third one being data science being covered. Okay, yes, these are the three on-demand technologies. Along with it, of course, we have got cloud computing as well, which is anyway the on-demand one for all of these, and also we've got the edge computing under cloud computing as well. So I will not talk about too much of techie jargons which you will not understand, but rather I will just put things in a very simpler way. So under the bigger umbrella, we can assume that Internet of Things, artificial intelligence, data science, blockchain, and also full stack development. So these are the five things which are more related to you, which are on the on-demand part. Right. So now when we talk about the on-demand technologies of these, you being from CSC, you have got a bigger advantage where your profile and also the market is in line with each other. Okay, when we talk about mechanical or civil comparatively, they are having their educational background different, and then when they land the careers, they are majority of them are still opting IT careers, right? For you, the biggest advantage is that you are having the eligibility and the criteria, the needed criteria of background education being the CSE, and also the careers that you will be choosing are also the most on-demanded ones. Okay, so now I would like to hear from you. Any one of you did any kind of internships till now? Any kind of internships, be it with a startup or maybe established company, any kind of, or maybe some kind of certifications or courses, any upskilling programs? Students? No? Okay, so now I'm just sharing one document with you. So I'm not sharing the PPT because we have got only 1.5 hours in which the first 40 minutes we'll be discussing about this task. It's a task, it's exciting. I want all of you to do it. Okay, I'm just sharing the document now with you so that you will understand what I'm explaining here. So by the end of the session, I want all of you to be clear about what is profile building, okay, and what is the immediate career goal that you will be setting to land a respective career that you're choosing. So when I say profile building, please note that profile building is not just about, getting done with your resume. That is profile customization. Profile building is about understanding what the market is looking for, where you are currently, and then you will be mapping up what is needed, and then you will be upskilling yourself respectively. And please note that currently, this is the bigger advantage for you, that there are so many free resources across YouTube as well, Udemy, Coursera, etc. So you need not buy your resources always, because you are just landing an entry level role from being a BTech graduate. So the advantage for you is that you can just opt your respective free resources, upskill yourself, then put that skill to your respective profile, be it your resume, LinkedIn, or Naukri, and then you will be having the respective approach from the recruiters as well. Okay. So let me share the screen and I'll just make you understand what I'm talking about. And students, if you're not clear with anything, just pause me and ask me, because this is for you to understand about what is industry, what industry is expecting, and how you will land the high package jobs. I'll just tell you once the screen is shared. Please let me know in case if you're able to see the screen. Yes. Can you see my screen?
Yes,
Yes.
ma'am.
Great. So I would not be able to see your expressions because I've shared only the window. So in case if you are not understanding something, just pause me at any point and then we can have the discussion. Okay. So firstly, I want all of you to open your Google Chrome and put it ready. Okay. So the task that we are doing now, so I have been into learning and development industry. What I believe is mostly about the practical implementation rather than just the theoretical where you're just hearing it, right? So in this session as well, today we will, while we understand about the profile building importance, we will also do the task by the end of the session that you will be aware of how to do your respective career goal setting. Okay. So now okay, I'm just pausing here for a while. So let me first talk about the profile building part. Okay, so you have a respective skill set. Okay, or you do not have anything at all. Okay. On the other hand, any one of you just search this one: data analyst role, data analyst job in Hyderabad, Pune, Bangalore, anything. Just do it right away. I'll make you understand what exactly I'm talking about. Preferred is have your laptop. In case if you do not have, then only opt your mobile, but preferred laptop. So after looking into it, now I want any one of you to talk about what exactly the roles and responsibilities are for that data analyst job. We are taking example here one, but remember that you will also explore other domains which you might be interested in. Maybe you are interested in coding, maybe you're interested in development and all. So you can choose that later. This is just for example that how you should actually explore the market. Market research is one of the key things when you're setting up your career goal or working on your profile building part.
Yeah, am I audible?
Yes, perfect, Ryan. Please speak.
So you mean to ask what does a data analyst do?
Yes, roles and responsibilities of any kind of job. Like which location you have looked into, what is the company that you have seen now, which company is offering that?
Yeah, I can see a list of companies as I search on Google.
Yeah, you
Job.
can just open one job, data analyst job in Hyderabad, Pune, Mumbai, etc. Anything you can, or Bangalore and all, and this just open that job as you look into it.
I see one in Navi Mumbai, data analyst SQL and SSRS. And the company is Satori Group. Anyways,
Okay.
the thing is that it's also telling me that you can work from home.
Yeah, okay. Yeah. So you can just
And
explore. Mhm.
yeah, and the data analyst collects, cleans, and interprets data sets in order to answer a question or solve a problem. So it's basically an SQL query based job.
Yes, SQL part. And
And uh, yeah, that's about it. It's in the company is in Vashi, Navi Mumbai, and
I
there.
want you to choose something from Metro City where you'll be getting the actual roles and responsibilities, because this I feel that this is more customized for that respective group, because every company will be having their requirement, right? So now I tell you why exactly the data is the on-demand or gold mine. You have so many devices. You can just keep continue. You can continue your work, Ryan. You can just explore and then get that. Meanwhile, I'll just
Yeah.
explain here.
Yes.
See, students, so you have got Internet of Things on demand. So what your smart gadgets, right? You can connect things. There is so much of data that is being created across. When there is so much of data that is being created across, the utilization of data is a key thing for the companies, right? So it may be IT companies, it may be the manufacturing companies, anything. It may be data is the key thing. Now you can see the automated reminders, and see, now customers are the on-demanded ones. There was a time when customers used to reach companies in a consistent basis, and if they're not treated well, and then they used to stay there because they have got the requirement for that respective company or maybe the product or service. Okay, now in the customer dominant space where customers are aware of multiple things. And also please note that whatever IT companies you are working for, or maybe the big tycoons, whoever you work for, ultimately they are again the vendors for respective B2C companies. Okay, I'll give you the scenario here. There are two things. One is B2B companies, the other one is B2C companies. B2B companies are business to business companies where their clients are again businesses. Like, for example, Tata Steel is there. Okay. And then Tata Consultancy is there. So Tata Consultancy will provide the services to Tata Steel in terms of IT or any kind of needed stuff. So that is B2B company. What is B2C company? Your Zomato is there. Your Swiggy is there. and then you have got Amazon. So there are Amazon, again, I'm talking about the respective e-commerce. I'm not talking about the cloud part. Okay, so this is again B2C company. So there are B2B companies, B2C companies. Ultimately, no matter it is B2B companies or B2C companies, either way, directly or indirectly, end product or end consumer is always an individual. Whether that is through B2B company or maybe the B2C company. If it is B2C company, it is directly the customer. If it is B2B company, they are serving another company. Maybe their end user is a customer. Like for example, if TCS is serving Zomato, or maybe HCL is serving Swiggy, or maybe you can just say as Urban Clap, or maybe Urban Pro, whatever the respective B2C companies are there. I'm just giving few examples. So ultimately, because customers are the key role now in decision making processes, companies are focusing great in the data optimization part. Okay, to acquire new customers as well. Like for example, if you have searched somewhere that you want to buy something in your maybe Google, you have explored something. When you open your Facebook, you will see the same ad. When you open your Instagram, you will see the same ad, right? So that is about optimization. Companies are optimizing and capturing your data, whatever your user is, whatever your usage is. So that is called as customer usage or consumer experience, or maybe consumer psychology. Okay, all of you mostly fall under Gen Z, that is Generation Z, or maybe Centennials is what we call. All of you most probably were born after 95, right? Yes. So we call you as
Yes.
Centennials. Prior to you is our thing where we fall under Millennials before 95 till 95. Okay. So the customer psychology, for I'm telling you the bigger picture because I always believe in why factor rather than just implementing any random thing. Okay. You should understand this basic fundamental so that no matter which company you land, it will be useful for you. Now moving forward, when millennials customer psychology or maybe the consumer psychology is different compared to the centennials, where your interest and your the passion is different, right? Your choices are different. So companies always look about who are the target audience, whom they are serving for, and then they'll be customizing their product respectively. And in that also, what is the respective customers earning criteria? Like for example, after 5 years you're earning some money, right? So again, based on your psychology, the companies will be customizing their products and customer journeys and experiences. Okay, so this is the bigger picture. Now that you have understood the bigger picture, I want you to understand about the ground reality. Wherever you're working, whichever company you're opting, please note that these companies ultimately, once the sale is done, that is if it is a B2B company, most of your CSE, all of you will be working for majorly B2C, B2B or B2C, anything respectively. So they'll be getting a sale done. So I'm just giving the example of B2B companies here. You're working for HCL, TCS or anything. Your company made a sale, that is there is a sales team. Okay, and that sales team has got a respective project for some few crores or maybe few lakhs respectively. So once that project is done, from the sales team it reaches the implementation team where all of you will be involved. Okay, so once you are involved in the implementation part, it is expected that you will be performing your respective roles and responsibilities. So this is the bigger picture, that there is an end user and your company is providing a respective service or a product for them. Okay, and now you will be in that space where you are delivering that respective part and you'll be working on that. Any doubts still here, students? So this is a basic fundamental that I wanted all of you to understand.
No, no doubts. Clearly understand that business to consumer and business to business companies are you are mentioning about, and that
Yeah, and
the
also,
consumers are yes,
yeah, please.
yeah, the consumers play a big role in the business and the implementation of any products and so on.
Great. So that is the reason data is a key thing now. And there is so much of data that is being, because you're all using smart gadgets. We're all using, right? So digitalization is there. When there is so much of digitalization, whereas when there is Internet of Things, like now your things are communicating with each other. Your fridge can directly communicate with a respective sensor in your room as you step on in the smart homes, right? So there is so much of data being created. A car can actually pop out and say that what are the nearest coffee machines around, or maybe a cave cafeteria that is available across. So this is the future thing when we talk about smart cities, when we talk about smart homes, smart agriculture, etc. There is so much of data that gets created. Okay, when there is so much of data that gets created, the utilization of data is a key thing. So hence everything from now on, be it artificial intelligence, be it data science, or maybe data analytics part, or maybe internet of things, the on demanded ones. And of course we have got blockchain as well, where that is majorly into the fintech part, maybe financial related thing that we talk about it. Okay, again, that in that also we'll be having integration of these technologies. Please note that one technology is not completely dependent from other. Like, just like the basic fundamental is that you're serving your customer, whatever is technology, whatever is the technology that is needed in that respective project, your respective company will be inculcating that for that respective product or the service. Now moving forward, yeah, Ryan, any doubts, students, still here?
No, ma'am.
Okay, great, thank you. I want you to speak about the roles and responsibilities of the data analyst. That so which company did you see and which location is it?
The location I saw is there are many locations now. Let me clarify that. Navi Mumbai is there, and via LinkedIn in Mumbai, all over Mumbai, there are few certain jobs.
No, there are many. We just want to pick one. Like for example, data analyst in Mumbai. You can
Let's
search.
pick this one, data analyst for Disney Plus Hotstar. It's in Mumbai,
Great,
Maharashtra,
great.
and the pay scale for it. Should I mention the pay scale which is mentioned here?
Absolutely, yes, please.
Two lakhs to 8.5 lakhs per month per year.
This
Sorry, per
is
year.
okay. This is not actually the ideal thing, because data analyst, the on-demand ones is. Please note that when you're exploring or applying for something, know what is your skill set and what you're applying for. 6.5 to 7.5 is the average thing that you can aim at as a data analyst part. I'm just giving you one example. Similarly, when you are aiming at other roles as well, you should understand what is the market value, what is the average salary, and where you stand in the market criteria, and then customize your profile and then aim at that respective role. Okay, great. Yeah, please talk about the roles and responsibilities, Ryan.
Ma'am, the roles and responsibilities are that the analyst collects and cleans, interprets data, and surveys and manages the data, and
Okay.
everything which is like you mentioned, that the data manipulation, collection, and interpretation, that is done by the data analyst.
Okay, great. So, like we have got few sets of roles and responsibilities. Now, can you just let me know what is the skill set needed there? You will also have another column with respect to the needed skill set.
Um, Let me just search. Basically, I think that skill set required is that he should have computer knowledge and everything, and
No, no,
programming.
I don't, yeah, I don't want to be that to be assumption based. You can just read out the skill set needed so that I will make you understand. I mean, of course, we have got other students here as well, right? So, what is the gap as well? Like, there is a skill set that is needed by the company, and where do you stand? If I'm applying for some role, at least I should know where do I stand in that, right? So, when I talk about profile building part, profile building is building up your respective profile with respect to the needed skill sets that you're aiming at a respective role. Okay.
Okay.
So can you just explain that, Ryan? What is the skill set needed for that?
The skill set, as I'm seeing, that advanced coding should be the data analyst should know how advanced coding and everything,
Okay.
and there's a lot of things mentioned here, like many different uh, programming languages he should be aware about and should be able to code in it,
Okay.
and SQL is there, and many other
Yeah,
stuff.
SQL and
C- SSRS.
okay, and okay, I'll just brief you out. No issues. Yeah, thank you for that, Ryan. I'll just brief you. So,
Yes.
students, why is that all of your cameras are still off? I can see only two cameras which are on, others are still off. It will be great in case if you can just switch on your cameras. Great. Yeah. So now that like Ryan has mentioned few details, right? I'll just make you understand brief part of it. Ideally, when you're opting a data analyst role, so majorly it is Python that is needed. Okay, and also you would be expected to know R programming in some roles, but it is not necessary. If you're good with SQL, if you're good with Python, and also basic understanding of Tableau BI or maybe Power BI, etc., you're good to go. Okay, basic thing is Python. Now, when you're applying for something, it's not necessary that you're always directly aiming at data analyst role. You can also aim at Python developer part, and then you can look into the next role. Now I'm sharing the screen. I want all of you to do this task now. Okay. Students, this is a rare opportunity where you can just ask the questions about any kind of thing that you're working on. Yeah. So the agenda here is, now that I've explained about what exactly is profile building, all of you are able to see my screen?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay,
Yes,
great.
ma'am.
So the agenda is about setting career goal and learning goal in line with your career goal. Okay, whatever you're setting. Now, the first thing is market research. Like, you should understand the career path first. There are 6 tasks here. The first thing is understanding your respective career path, like what exactly it is. Like, if I talk about data science path, okay, so in that data science, what exactly is the entry level role, and after that what is the next level role, and after that what is the next further role after maybe 6 years experience or maybe 8 years experience, etc. Okay, so please note that according to career developmental psychology, everyone's priorities are different. Now you are majorly in the exploring phase. Till 24 or 25, you start looking about, or maybe by 26 or something, you start looking about stabilizing your career in a particular career path. Prior to that, it is okay that you will be having too many confusions. It is perfectly all right that you are thinking that you want to do this also, you want to do that also. It is perfectly fine. You're not the only one. Okay, so that is generally common, and after that we call it exploring phase. From 26 to 34, it is majorly about stabilizing phase, and then after that it is about 35 to 44 about growth phase, and then 45 to maybe 54 it is about the maintenance phase, and then after that it is decline phase, that is by 60 uh, 56 to then 65. Beyond that, gradually it is career declining phase, because the individual will be opting for the retirement. While this is the common reference according to the career developmental psychology, it is also not necessary that every person on planet will have the same thing, because some people may be going with the majority of people while go with the same phases in the career developmental psychology. There are people, especially in the millennials and centennials, by 27 or 28 they have been exploring, and then by then they want to settle down. The earlier you start in the career path, the bigger it is that you will be exploring different things and then come to a common conclusion which path you want to opt. Okay, and please know that it is always fun when your strengths and your respective career path and also your market demand is mapping with each other. That is what we expect with respect to a career path growth and a conscious career growth. That will be fun, or else it will be tough for you to excel in any career in case if the mapping is not done with respect to your individual strength. And also purpose driven approach. Most of your Gen Z are about purpose driven approach. When I say about purpose driven approach, it means that you want to have that satisfaction of your work is being utilized somewhere, and there is some end user which is having the value that is being added by you. And that comes when you're actually aware of the career path, no matter if you're a data analyst, no matter if you're a data scientist, no matter if you're a developer, or maybe no matter you're from business development, sales, any domain it may be. But it is that you should be aware who are you serving. Once you understand what value you're adding for your end customer, whichever role, whichever company you're working in, you can grow there because you're understanding that purpose. So it is not always that you should opt the non-conventional careers, then only you will be finding your purpose. In the IT career paths as well, you can just find your purpose, whatever you're adding value, and then it will be helping you know psychological growth as well. Great. So first things, the fundamentals I have said. Now, this is a task one. The first one is market research. You might have some thoughts in your mind about IoT, data science, blockchain, etc. Right? So no matter which particular career path you're looking for, you should understand the career path hierarchy, or maybe the different roles under it. Okay, so here market research, like IoT, AI, data science, the roadmap. Okay, for that clarity, what is the outcome that we're expecting from task one is clarity of career path at different levels, understanding of roles and responsibilities, and then understanding where you stand and what you're aiming at. So this is the first step of it. Like example, under this career path, then you should actually understand all of your students. Like if we have students and then working professionals in the same webinar, then it will be more complicated to explain them who stands where. All of you actually, in case if you do not have any kind of experience prior that you've worked as vigorous internships and all of you are aiming at the entry level roles only. Okay, until and unless you're exceptional, you have too many internships to your criteria and experience under it. So now that you're aiming at entry level roles, let us understand the career path here. Rest of it will come the reverse engineering part here. So here we talk about the entry level roles, your associate analyst, engineer, statistician, analyst, etc. Here I've taken data science career path as example. You can just look into the career path, whatever you're aiming at. Okay, it may be IoT, it may be AI, it may be anything, or maybe it may be full stack development as well. Okay, and also while you're choosing your respective career path, first understand what are the on-demand career paths. While I've explained about 5 career paths here, you explore by yourself and come to a conclusion. Explore, take some 1 day, 2 day, maybe 1 week, maybe 2 hours a day or something. Explore what are the on-demand technologies for the next 5 years. What is the current on-demand technology? So once you explore like this, you will have the awareness of multiple career paths, multiple technologies and the career paths, and then you can come to a common conclusion. Shortlist 3 career paths, and then gradually as you explore, you will come to a common conclusion, which is the career path that you're majorly interested in. Everyone need not be interested in coding. Everyone need not be interested in the analytical approach or logical approach. So you will be choosing the career path which you will be fitting in. Like for example, if you're interested in coding part, then you can opt something as full stack development, or you can opt the AI part, machine learning development part, or maybe if your approach is majorly logical, analytical based approach, you can choose the data analytics part. And also if you're majorly interested into the design part or something, you can just choose towards the CSS or maybe UX design, etc. Okay, so your interest, your strength and the market demand should be mapping with each other. The first role that we're talking about here is associate analyst, engineer, statistician, and then your respective analyst, or maybe your senior analyst, senior engineer. So this particular associate analyst and engineer thing, you can expect this to be around 2 to 4 years. If you're starting your respective career path at 22 years, you can expect till 24 or something, you can just refer to this part. And maybe between 24 to 26, you can expect this particular jump as senior analyst or something, or maybe senior engineer role. Okay, now this is between your 2 to 4 years of experience, or maybe 2 to 6 years of experience. By 8 years experience, you will be landing a consultant role. This is with respect to a MNC approach, is what I'm making you understand. So while this is the common thing, it is not necessary that your career path is the same thing and you should definitely follow the same particular hierarchy. Reason being, if you are very much exceptional. So why is that there is this particular approach? Because this is about the experience and the knowledge, right? So in case if you're too much skillful, or if you're vigorous in your approach and upskilling part, then there might be some step that can be skipped off. Like for example, from associate in analyst to engineer, and then for senior analyst, you need not take 2 years. Maybe you might be promoted 1 year itself. Or maybe if you're taking a jump from one company to another after 2 years, you can have the hike immediately itself. So it varies from one person to another, but please know that it is a standard reference that I'm just giving you to make you understand how the hierarchy works. So consultant, and then by the age of maybe 30 or 32, you will be already in the senior consultant role. And in case if you people always talk about this as well, right? Like data scientist, IoT architect, AI architect, etc. So this actually requires some maybe around 10 years experience, or maybe 8 years experience in the MNC part, because you would need that diversified skill set in it. If someone says that in 1 year you can just land data scientist, that is not actually the ground reality. Because data scientist is not just a person who is just having a skill set in maybe development part, or maybe a one kind of analysis part, but he or she should be aware of the technicality of it. When I say architect, they should be understanding about the end-to-end technology related stuff, be it big data, be it IoT, data science, whatever their main strength or expertise is. They should be having the cross-functional awareness, that is the other domain awareness as well. Now manager. So by the age of 34 or something, you can just expect a manager role in MNC and maybe senior manager as well. So until and unless gradually, in case if you're taking up hikes in between, jumps in between, and if you're being vigorous in your upskilling program, then maybe you can expect this earlier as well. And then you'll be having the further vertical. So see, by 35, 34 and all, you can expect this manager, senior manager, or maybe if you will be landing at by 40 years as well. And post that, you can just opt, the next level that you can aim at is about the head of department, or maybe vertical head, business owner of a particular entire vertical, like for example, telecommunications of TCS, or maybe particular maybe data science domain, or maybe some kind of product domain, uh, automobile, under automobile, a particular domain. So you'll be heading that respective thing. And then AVP or VP levels, and then you'll be having CXO levels, respectively CTO, COO, CMO, CFO, that is chief financial officer, marketing officer, operations officer, technology officer, etc. So there are multiple roles. So this is the hierarchy for your reference. Please note that it varies from one company to another. Why is that I'm explaining you this part? Anyone? Why should you know this hierarchy? I can directly, talk about other things. Why is that I want you to understand about the hierarchy, then understand the respective roles and responsibilities? Anyone? Why is it so? Why should you understand about the hierarchy of the respective different companies or the organizational structure? What is the advantage of it? Do you even, why should you know? Always have this why factor in you, students, the curiosity for it. Okay, I'll tell you. Just imagine that you are in your engineering college now. Okay, you do not know any ground reality what is happening in the industry, and if you're aware of a particular path, then you will be able to aim something, right? Like for example, if you're not aware of anything, there are many people who are struggling without any awareness. Okay, and you, if you're aware of certain thing, then the approach for it will be more different compared to someone who is not aware of anything. Okay, so you should always have this career path awareness, then you will be aiming at the respective entry level role. Now after this, the next thing is, once you select your respective career path, now that you will be understanding your entry level role, you should understand task 2. I'm just sharing that as well with you. So what is the entry level role in your career path, students? Anyone? Do you have anything in your mind already, your career path? You can just unmute and speak. You don't have any ideas now at the moment? What are your plans for your jobs?
I wanted to pursue masters.
Great. Okay.
I haven't thought much
Others?
about jobs.
Okay, great. But it's always good to do at least some internship if you're opting for masters as well. Do some internship. It will be building up your profile. Okay. So understand also when you're opting for masters, you'll be having an advantage if your profile is having a weightage compared to just without any prior experience. Okay, so others as well. So when we talk about the profile building, why is that we are talking about profile building? Why should you have skills to your profile? Just because, when your recruiter looks at your profile, someone without skill and someone with skill, who is that you will be opting? Whom you will hire? An engineering graduate with 2 to 3 skills, an engineering graduate who is just engineering graduate without any skill or
No
experience.
one who has skills.
Right? So, and that doesn't happen in a single day. Spare maybe like weekly 2 hours or maybe weekly 3 hours something, and just add some free certifications to your profile. Make your respective thing exciting. And if I want to come from here to Mumbai without any goal, like for example, if I'm just I have just started without having clarity in my mind that I want to go to Mumbai, will I reach Mumbai?
No.
No, right? I need a particular goal for me, right? I need to have clarity where I'm going. Then I'll be reaching
Travel
Mumbai,
plans.
right? So planning is again secondary, but first, at least I need to have the goal in my mind. Once I have the goal, then I'll be having the plan for it, right? So now you are in the dilemma. So back then when I was doing my graduation, I did it from ECE, Electronics and Communication. So I have switched towards career coaching with my passion. Okay. So I did it in the 2014 was the pass out year. From then I've been an entrepreneur. Okay. So back then I did not have mentor, guys. Now at least you're having people around you who are saying like what is what. Okay. And the advantage for you is the market is very, very creamy in India currently. You have got scope for very high packages. So all you need to do is just be aware what is the market expecting from you, and then build your profile. Building your profile doesn't mean that you should just work crazily. Whenever you're with work, whenever you're with your friends, just start this curiosity: what different companies are doing, what investments are happening in India, like what is the scope in India, which domain has got the scope, and start working on it. And then gradually you will understand that you are building up your profile unknowingly itself. Maybe targeted monthly one particular course completion, simple course as maybe 4 hours is also fine, but at least something is there, right? So you have YouTube. Under YouTube, you will be having different companies which are giving free courses. Udemy is there, Udacity is there. Just search in internet as free courses on full stack development, free courses on Python development. So like this, when you search, you will have at least awareness what are the multiple free resources. You need not always opt a paid resource. You start somewhere. So as you get the command, then you will know what is the certification you are majorly looking for. Then opt some paid certification at the moment when you're looking for it. Till then, at least start somewhere. Okay. Now, I wanted you to understand the hierarchy of different structures because you are having the awareness of it. Now that you're having the awareness of it, when you're expecting or maybe landing a respective entry level role, you will be having what is the next level of career path in it. Okay. And then you'll be upskilling things accordingly. It may be data science, it may be IoT, blockchain, web development, anything it may be, but at least you should have some awareness, right? So that is what you would be doing in task 1. Task 2 is, guys, note down it. So task 1 is about market research, having the awareness of your career path. Okay. And then I'll share this document with all of you. Okay. The first task is market research. What is the outcome we're expecting from this activity? Please remember that I always recommend outcome-based approach where you are aware of what is that you're expecting, then your activity becomes smooth, or it will just be an activity-based thing and you will just go in circles for that. Okay, outcome. And then what we are expecting the outcome where you'll be having the clarity of whatever career path you're choosing at different levels. What is that entire hierarchy of that career path? And then understanding of different roles and responsibilities of that entry level role. And then where you stand, like for example, when we talk about the respective, you being a graduating student, undergraduate, you are aiming at the entry level only. So there is no confusion with respect to it until there is a specific thing that you already carry internships. The task 2 thing. What is the market research we are doing under task 2? Number of openings in the world as well, in different countries, in India and cities as well. So outcome is about understanding the clarity of it and being very specific about which location, which location and which particular city as well that you're aiming at. So this is the specific clarity that you should be getting with respect to number of openings. Okay, how will you get that? When you just search as, for example, in the step 1, what you have got is entry level role goal, right? Maybe data analyst or maybe engineer or developer. So then what you will do is you will start exploring about the number of roles, like number of jobs in data science, number of jobs in maybe IoT engineer, number of jobs in web development or maybe Python development, etc. So when you search like that, Naukri, Indeed, Glassdoor, you will have different websites. So after exploring all websites, you will come to a common conclusion how many roles are there for that respective job you're applying for. Now just imagine, without any clarity, you're just going randomly after your graduation, just trying to work on things. And now from 3rd year or fourth year, from the beginning, if you're starting up with awareness oriented approach, understanding the market, what is the big difference? it will be easier for you, right? So that is
Yes,
what we are,
yes.
yes, so that is what we are aiming at. And what is the third thing? CTC clarity. Often people are not aware, Indians, about what is a market CTC. So I want you to explore the different CTCs offered by different companies. And remember, if a company is paying you big, it means that you should be worthy of it. Right. So then comes your upskilling part, what skill you possess. So it is not just about selling yourself low, but being in that position where you are having a skill and where you can demand the respective CTC. If you're having a skill, companies will be more than glad. At least in the current scenario, there is a big demand for IT roles, so or the computer science related engineers roles. What is the task for companies offering them? What are the companies which are hiring you? For example, if you have chosen about data analyst, what are the companies which are offering? What are the big companies? How many openings are there? While data analyst role is across, is it that that particular role is across different companies, small, medium, and large scale industries, or this is a rarer role which is actually in big companies only? If that is so, what are those big gigantic companies which are offering it, and how many openings are there under them? Okay, so outcome is clarity and being specific about it. Like some 50 openings in this company, 100 openings, so you'll get a trend and pattern for it, like what is happening in the market. Then understanding the roles and responsibilities of that particular role. For example, with all this clarity, you have got a specific clarity that you are aiming a data analyst role. Okay, what are the roles and responsibilities of it? Understand it. Then outcome of it is you're clear about the roles and responsibilities, what you'll be doing in the day in day out for that respective role. And after that is task 6, skill set needed. It is roles and responsibilities is about what you will be doing in that role. Skill set is about what the company expects from you. So you will understand where you stand and what exactly companies looking for. There comes your profile building part. Okay, so then this is what we call a skill gap analysis. So under skill gap analysis, the mapping is what we talk about. You understand what the company is looking for. Company is looking for what? Skill gap analysis. uh, the being a BTech graduate passing out in this year, or maybe if that is no specific thing in the passing out year as well, or maybe understanding of coding, having awareness of Excel, or maybe some kind of things, right? So that respective details will be mentioned in the skill set part. Then comes your respective clarity of it, and then you will understand where you stand. So this is the first immediate thing where you'll be setting your career goal with package being very clear. Excuse me. With package being very clear. Okay, like for example, because you've done all this research with respect to CTC and everything, out of all these tasks, this is the specific thing that you will be aiming at, like data analyst with a package of minimum of 7 LPA by this particular time. Okay, so you should be clear by what particular date you will be aiming at. The advantage and the beauty for you is that you have got time now with you. So if you're in third year, it's like even bigger advantage. If you're in final year as well, because you're just in now August, you have got time. So you should be aiming by January or February. You should be already having a role with you, the offer letter with you. Okay, so for that, just invest your time properly, plan things well. Then you should be having a tracking sheet, like what you're doing every day, and then you can just plan things accordingly. And then whatever tracking sheet is there for the respective execution or whatever you're doing throughout your entire day, then you have a custom learning curve. So this is not for you anyways, because you do not have a career coach. What you can do is you can just plan yourself what is the skill set needed, how much time you can allocate, and then you can just start implementing things. Okay, the first step being very clear about your career goal. Now I have queries that I'll be asking you. So we have now discussed about the career goal and all. Okay, I see Mr. Khan Shadab, who is already working on the laptop. Great, I want all of you to do that. See, skill set is what? Anyone? Ryan, not you this time. I'll ask someone else. Okay. I have few others on my screen. Aditya, are you there?
Yes.
Okay. Did you do any of the tasks that I've mentioned now?
Yeah, exactly. I'm done.
Okay, great. So what is the career path that you have chosen?
Yeah, so I like to go for the product designing part. So
Awesome.
I just like to explore more about products and how the exact design systems are going right now. The
Awesome.
then which exactly design system are using, like very much in the startup cultures or the biggest MNCs we are looking for right now.
Yes.
So this is the path like I'm going for right.
Great. So in that criteria, one quick thing that I wanted to understand is, uh, did you know before this webinar, what was your thought process like? Now with this webinar, is there any difference in your approach, all of you? This is a common question for all of you.
Yeah, ma'am. I did not know about the, like upscaling of jobs from being a junior engineer to senior engineer, and then focusing on the hierarchy. I did not. I did not thought about that. Now that I know about it, I'll know how to enter a company, and then what my goal is, what am I looking for, and how to, increase my performance and everything. That I came to know about it now.
Great.
And about my goal, excuse me, my goal is that I want to pursue masters, and then I'll think about what my interest is. Basically, my interest is related to hardware and networking, and then there's artificial intelligence also is there, and graphic designing and etc. There are many things
Great.
which anyone can pursue in computer field, but that the goal and my goal is to pursue masters and then think about the job.
Awesome. So also, students, this is a common question to all of you. In case if you're in a dilemma between a job, if you've already made up for masters, your mind, if you're interested, great. Or else if you're not clear about things, this is a common thing that someone with 2 years of experience with job and then opting masters is always a high demand resource in the market compared to someone who is immediately doing masters without any clarity, then going for the job. Okay, so Ryan, this is not for you in case if you're already clear that you're passionate about it. I'll tell you the reason. Till now, whatever you have learned is majorly a theoretical part. Okay, I'm not expecting that you're very good with your practical scenario, right? So when you enter the industry, you will understand the bigger picture, practicality of it. Just imagine that with that 1 year experience in the first year itself, you will have understanding of it. What is the major domain that you're having major inclination or interest towards? With that awareness of practical scenario, then you will be choosing a master. Okay, so now whatever your if you remember this IIMs and all expect this, right? 2 years experience and all. Why is that? Because someone doing masters after 2 years of work experience is someone who is aware of things of the industry scenario, right? So they're choosing it with proper practical awareness of industry. It is good for the individual also, and it is good for the industry as well who's expecting it. Okay, so if you're not clear with masters or job, I would always recommend do 1 or 2 years job and then go for masters. That is where your profile will be built. Okay, in case if you're already clear that you're passionate about something, then you can go for masters directly. And also, do not think that if you're entering a job space that your career ends there and you cannot pursue anything. It's not like that. Only Indians are crazy about that. We all of us are like how we are is about we need to complete the UG fast, we need to complete the PG fast, and then we just need to land the job after it. So this is the mindset that has been programmed. Okay, but when you look about the global scenario, it's not that UG and PG should be immediate. Okay, you can take 1 year 2 years break, and there are also executive educations later in case at any point if you want to do. So it's a continuous learning. So no matter where you are, it's not necessary that you should do your masters immediately if you're not clear about it. Also, the other thing is financial aid. Often in masters, what happens is you will be burdened with too much of financial aid if you're opting for some universities, if you're not getting the complete scholarship. So first, when you're looking for masters, also build your profile, showcase how you're assert to that respective university, not just that you're just being any random student who's applying for that university. So profile building is important whether you're applying for your respective university in masters or you're applying for any organization. And remember recruiters. So I also wanted to discuss about this. So once you're completing your respective profile building, then comes your Naukri resume and all. Okay, first complete your resume. So there are two things. If you're opting for masters, your profile should be customized accordingly. If you're opting for your job, your profile should be customized accordingly. But be clear with what exactly you're looking for. So if you're applying for masters, Ryan, then what you would do is you need to understand what are the universities you're targeting at. What is the admission criteria there? What is the scholarship there? Don't be a last minute hustler just thinking that like your BTech exams where you study one night before and all, right? It will not fetch results in a long run. Okay, I've been also an engineering student, so I am aware of it. Okay, so it's like your profile building comes with a consistent basis. So when you're applying for your masters, be clear what are the universities you're aiming at, why you're aiming that university, are there any advantages for that. Always have this curiosity in you, why you're doing that, whatever you're doing. Okay, then understand the global scenario. After that, customize your profile. What are the skills you would need to grab that respective scholarship from that university? What is the admission criteria for that? UK admissions are different, US admissions are different, and Australia's are different. US admissions are majorly holistic, where profile building is key. UK admissions are majorly reliant or inclined towards academic as well. Okay, and Australia's admission criteria is different. So you need to understand which admission criteria is applicable for which universities. Clear? Now coming to the job scenario. When you're applying for your respective job now, you need to understand what are the recruiters looking for. That is along with your skill set. You need to customize your profile with that respect to needed skill set. It is not just about, there are two things for career growth students I want all of you to understand. One is your skill set. The second thing is your profile customization. Profile building is about your skill set. Profile customization is about showing your skill set. Just imagine, if I'm a career coach, if you're gone to my LinkedIn, I've explained everything now, but if you do not see anything on my LinkedIn profile, do you have trust on me? I mean, you do not see anything, any achievements or any kind of things there, or my experience is not mentioned on that at all. Do you have any belief or trust on me? No, right? This ground reality. So as you, no matter how many, what skill set you have got, if that is not on your LinkedIn, if that is not on your Naukri, if that is not mentioned on your resume, it is no good use whatever skill set you have got. Okay. One thing, focus on your profile building. The second thing is your profile customization, where we'll be talking about the digitalization, your visibility on the online presence. Okay, which is Naukri and then LinkedIn. And in case if you're about too techy and all, GitHub is also there anyway. But basic things are your resume, Naukri, and GitHub. So first resume, how you will do is get the standard templates. There is a difference between resume and CV. CV is that where you'll be having entire data or from the educational background and all. And then resume is something where it will be 1 pager or 2 pager respectively.
And ma'am, what is biodata?
Biodata is about your background. We don't use biodata as a respective profile anywhere. It is just like, for example, my introduction. I'm so and so, I'm from so and so and all. So that is what we call as biodata. Biodata. Okay.
Okay.
So that is biodata. So resume and CV. And please note that in India, resume and CV are used as interchangeable. Okay. A few companies, like, you can just say that you're applying resume, but that can be CV also. But in general, UK majorly is inclined towards CV, and US based organizations are majorly inclined towards resume. However, in India, it is interchangeable. Trust me, even people with 15 years experience do not know the difference between resume and CV, even if they are earning big also. Okay. So when we talk about CV and resume, when you're applying for your master's and all, your CV comes into the zone, where entire educational background, your research, projects, etc. come into the zone. CV is a rigid one. It cannot be changed continuously, where resume, you'll be customizing according to the role you're applying for. This is the quick difference. Okay. But you need not take everything to be perfect at this point. I'm just talking about all the important things that you should know when you're applying for roles. At least basic understanding of what you will be doing in the job scenario. If you're applying for job also, at least you should know what you should do. Right. So that is reason. Two things students remember. One is upskilling. That is your skill set. Second thing is your profile customization. No matter how great your skill set is there, your online presence and your showing that respective skill set is equally important. On the other hand, if you do not have skill set, no matter how great you customize your profile, try to show it off, you cannot crack the interview anyway. Okay. So both are equally important. Often people will be good in one thing, and they often tend to just try to ignore the second thing, but both are important. Okay. And the current scenario of job market is, you can just start and aim at minimum of 6.5 to 7 in the beginning. If you're exceptionally great in for the next upcoming 1 year, if you can do great, you can just aim at later also, and bigger also. But the minimum thing that you can aim at 6.57 is basic minimum that you should be aiming at. Okay. And respect to the respective career path that you're aiming at, you can just choose accordingly. Okay. And then in case if you're doing exceptionally at your respective skill set, you can also aim at 13 or 14 LPA also. provided you have got too many internships already by the time you're landing your respective job. If you're in third year, if you're already having some internships and all, or maybe if you're building up your skill set. See, it's always necessary that organization, like as I said, they have got some sales project, right? They need a resource who is implementing that. If you are that resource, the organization would anyway need it. You are the demand resource. Okay, we call them as on-demand resource. So when organization needs you as a resource, they'll be happy to pay you, but you should be at least worthy for it, right? And that is something where it comes with the profile building part. Profile building is a key thing for career growth, no matter whether you are starting now or whether you're starting after 6 months, no matter what it is, profile building is a key thing. Profile building is nothing but whatever you're aiming at, you are upskilling and you are just building up your respective skill set in line with that aimed career goal. Okay. Profile customization is about whatever you have built up and all you're showcasing, be it on Naukri, LinkedIn, your resume, etc. So resume, when you're building up your resume, any moving forward, just get the templates of your resume, get the examples, like be very clear. When you're doing the market research, be very clear when you're asking Google as well. Like for example, examples of resume for data analyst who is just starting now. So be so clear with Google. Reason being, you will get too many articles and you will get overwhelmed. Okay, be very clear, just like how you were speaking to opposite person, just put the same words in Google, then you will be getting the relevant resources and articles, or else you'll get too much of information which you don't need. Okay, it will save your time. Be strategic, and remember, market research anyone can do. What is the big deal that you're doing? It should be more strategic and relatable, which will save your time. So first understand what is that you're expecting from that respective market research. Be clear with that, then be strategic in your approach. So it comes with experience, but you need to start somewhere. Okay, so that is with respect to resume part. Get the template, and then remember, resumes are not filtered manually by companies. We have got ATS, the tracking systems. Okay, where your resume is filtered based on the keywords. Like for example, if I talk about data analyst, there are keywords used there. Like for example, SQL, and data manipulation, data mining, data cleaning. And you should have, I'm just giving you a few examples. Every entry level will be having respective keywords that is used in ATS. Okay, once your resume is on the Naukri, and remember that Naukri is a big source. It's just that many have created the profiles there and not many utilized it. People who are in the working space of maybe 6 years, 7 years experience and who know how to customize their profile, they get the calls immediately within 1 month itself as they upload the Naukri, because there is so much of on-demand thing. Among the top 10 job portals in India, Naukri is number 1. Okay, in fact in Asia. Okay, so just utilize that well. It's not necessary that you should always go for paid resources. Do not ever pay for any consultancy. Okay, coaching spaces and all where it is authentic and all where you need professional help is fine. Do not ever believe that someone is saying some 100% job guarantee and because there is so much of spam calls that are coming in. Do not believe that. Okay, and start with free thing. Naukri, once you are done with your upskilling part, then focus on your resume. Okay, using the keywords. This also how you will do, utilize Google to fullest. You have got so much of free resources. First is resume template, then second thing is keywords. Students, you're not even noting down. I do not know how many of you will remember whatever I'm saying. Okay, I'll just rebrush again in next 5 minutes. Whatever we have discussed, please note it down. Okay, resume. After resume, it is keywords. Okay, after you note down, you work on the keywords part, then complete your resume. Once you complete the resume, just as simple, start with as simple as copy and paste your respective resume on your Naukri. That your respective columns is this year to this year to this. So talk about different projects. You know this saying, right? Jo dikega so bikega. Right? It's simple in any space. So if you are talking that you're exceptional, let that be seen also on your profile. Okay, similarly now LinkedIn, explore different profiles in your career path. Like for example, if you're aiming at data analyst, data analyst comma Mumbai, data analyst comma Pune, or maybe Hyderabad, Bangalore. Explore different profiles. You will understand what are the people putting in the respective experience, and then customize your respective project accordingly. Do some kind of free project anywhere, like you have online projects, right? Just do something and then add those respective skill set. You have got premium. I also want you to utilize resources like this also. LinkedIn Learning is there, where you'll be getting 1 month free trial. Okay, you'll be having different things where you'll be getting 1 month free trial. Utilize those upskilling programs like Skillshare, etc. in your domain, and then add that certifications to you. Cancel your subscription after 1 month. So this is the smart way that you utilize your resources. I totally understand that being students, you are dependent on your parents, right? But you have got your brains where you can utilize it strategically, utilize the free resources, opt the trial versions, get it done, add the certifications, then just cancel subscription. Simple as that. Right? And utilize this LinkedIn learning. LinkedIn learning, Skillshare is are the immediate things, and of course Udemy is there. You'll be having free resources. And also explore an internet, saying that free resources for data science resources, okay, or maybe free certifications for data science resources. There are free certifications by Google as well, which is actually qualitative one. You can add that certifications to your profile. So just understand, there are too many resources, students. It's just that you are not understanding it. Just explore in Google and then you are good to go. Okay. Yeah, please note down all the summary that we have discussed now. First thing is, you'll be doing the market research. The document I'll be sharing with Dubey sir, you can just refer to the document. But meanwhile, I'm just explaining now. First thing is the market research. Everything is a market research activity. The task one is, you will be understanding the career path. Okay. Under the career path, you will be understanding the respective hierarchy and what are the roles and responsibilities of this, being specific and clear with it. And what is the outcome that we expect is clarity of it, of the different levels under that career path, and then understanding where you stand. For you, it is entry level because you're just a fresher, so no issues at all. So the second task is number of openings in the world for that respective, like data analyst is there. Data analyst jobs in the world, data analyst jobs in USA, UK, India, etc. And then data analyst jobs in Hyderabad, Pune, Bangalore, anywhere. Okay, you will get the final number of what is the global scenario. When you're aiming at India, why is that you're looking into global scenario? Because you will understand the global demand of it as well. So hence you're exploring the global scenario, although you are aiming at respective location. Now, the next thing is the third one, CTC clarity. Understand what is the CTC for this role across different companies. Task 4, companies offering these roles, and also how many openings are there for these respective roles in that company. Like for example, IBM is there, HCL is there, or maybe Amazon, TCS, etc., or Infosys. So how many openings are there for these respective roles, like data analyst? How many jobs are there, relevant roles for entry levels? And also please know that when I say data analyst, it is not always necessary that you will always aim at just one role. Under entry level also, with the same skill set, you will have relevant roles like data analyst. That is the advantage for you being a fresher. Data analyst, Python developer, SQL analyst, or maybe SQL developer, data engineer. So there are multiple entry level roles with the same skill set or relevant skill set. You can just aim at all these things. Once you customize your profile, your recruiters themselves, they'll be reaching out for your respective relevant roles. But you should be clear with it. So hence be clear about all the entry level roles with the same skill set under the career path. Then the next thing is about the skill set needed. Like once we have understood about the okay, task 4 is about the companies offering them and how many openings are there. And then we have got the respective roles and responsibilities. So under the roles and responsibilities part, that is task 5, you will understand about what are the specific roles and responsibilities in those respective particular roles. Data analyst, it may be SQL, it may be a data engineer, or maybe data mining engineer, anything, IoT engineer, AI or machine learning engineer, anything it is, you will understand the respective roles and responsibilities. Then comes task 6. That is, you will understand the skill set needed for it. Under roles and responsibilities, what is the company? Roles and responsibilities is what you will be doing in that role. Skill set is about what you will be doing, what is the company expecting from you. Okay. Then what is the outcome from the task? This is clarity of skill set needed. Task 7 is about skill gap analysis. That is, what is the company looking for, where you stand, and there comes the gap analysis, and then note it down, what is the skill set that you should work on. This is where we'll be setting up the first key thing, that is setting career goal with package being very specific and what is the location that you're looking for. Be open to locations 2 to 3, and gradually as you give your interview scenario, you'll understand what is location you can prefer. Don't try to be rigid in very beginning that you just want this location only, this particular thing only. Be open with the multiple diversity for relevant roles, data analyst, data engineer, SQL, etc. Be aware of that, and also be open to 2 to 3 locations in and around. Then afterwards, as you get the offers and all, then decide something. And now because we have got work from home majorly, like you have got this advantage as well, there are remote jobs as well. But because you're just joining, I would not recommend remote jobs until and unless you are actually clear with, you can just opt those things. Remote jobs are those even after pandemic is over or after things get normal also, it is remote only, where you'll work from home only completely. But you're just starting out, so do not opt for just remote jobs, because you cannot understand about different verticals and cannot grow that vigorously when you're just starting up. And then have a tracking sheet. So one thing is you're setting a particular career goal. The next thing after all these tasks is step 2. That is, we have got 7 tasks under step 1, and then step 2 is about have a tracking sheet. How much time are you giving for this respectively every day? And then have a tracking of it. Whatever you're doing every day, discipline is important from now. Just focus. While you can enjoy being a student, you can also focus of how much time you can give for upskilling. Let it be fun. Start with 30 minutes, start with 20 minutes, but let it start. And step 3 is about custom learning curve. Custom learning curve is where you will be understanding your respective gap and then understanding your skill set. And then you are preparing your learning curve, what is needed for that. For this, I am giving you one hack, remember. Note it down. Just go to you are looking for data science upskilling now, right? Just go to different edtech companies which are offering this upskilling programs. Okay, after going or reaching there, explore the course content of these edtech companies. Okay, after exploring the course outline, you will find some common thing, which is you will also, these edtech companies, when they're talking about this is the content outline, they'll also say this content is useful for landing which particular career roles, data analyst or maybe data engineer, anything, they'll be giving you the example. Okay, so by understanding the outline, what you will do is, you're not buying the course now, okay, but you're understanding the outline because that is already structured one. Then have the content with you as reference. Then individually, for example, there are 10 modules under it. Okay, then explore these modules. Like you have got maybe SQL, you have got statistics under it, or maybe you've got pandas under it. Then take the topic and explore in Google, saying that free resources on panda, free resources on this. Like that, you can individually upskill with free resources, having the outline of the entire course content. Then you can add the free certification from whatever it is provided to your respective profile. Okay, so now remember, you're not paying anywhere, but you're moving in a strategic approach. Okay, so this is where it comes. Little input, and with the respective free resources available, you will be able to grab things. Okay, so this is the learning curve. When I say learning curve, you're understanding all of it, right? Similarly, if you feel that you would need English upskilling as well, if there is any gap for students who are with the English thing, because English is at least the basic thing that is needed, right? So while you're working on your technical skill set, also have maybe 30 minutes or something, understand about free resources on English upskilling. Okay, so like this, manage your learning curve. Learning curve is not the same for every individual. Career goal might be same, but your requirement for skill set which is needed, that is not the same as the opposite person, right? Do not compare your learning curve with anyone else. Just refer to only your thing. Okay, and also throughout the entire journey of 1 to 2 years, what you should be focused on is, while you're working on your upskilling program, you definitely need your positive vibes and motivation, right? So I am giving you one video which actually is a wonderful one. The Strangest Secret by Earl Nightingale. Okay, just listen to this and then it will be fun. The Strangest Secret by Earl Nightingale. It will be a 30-minute audio and it will be reprogramming your mind. And don't consume too much of toxic content from social media, because it is of no good use for you. Just choose things. While I say it is not a bad thing to have fun, but you should understand what content you're consuming. No matter how much अभी मतलब मैंने बोल दिया आपको and आपको समझ में आ गया, you're feeling motivated, बट एक दिन के बाद इफ यू आर जस्ट नॉट फोकसिंग ऑन इम्प्लीमेंटिंग ऑन थिंग्स, ये सिर्फ एक सेशन होगा, दैट्स इट, यू विल नॉट बी यूजिंग दिस एनीवेयर. एंड फिर आप जॉब में ज्वाइन होने के बाद देन यू विल रियलाइज आई विश आई वुड हैव अप्लाइड दिस बैक देन, राइट? So it is just little inputs that is needed. So focus on the content that you're consuming as well. So no matter how great your goals are, your this is equally important that your self-discipline. Okay. And now that you're in your 3rd and 4th years, you actually should start up your professional approach also towards life. Okay. Little karke. So then gradually you will land in good careers. Great. Any queries with respect to anything? And the other thing we have discussed is 2 things. One is upskilling and your profile customization. Upskilling for skill set. Till now, whatever we have discussed about 3 steps, that is first step 7 tasks, second step tracking sheet, third step about learning curve. Okay, these are 3 steps. And then the bigger umbrella is this is for skill set. The second thing is about your profile customization, which you will be working on your resume template and with right keywords, which is ATS friendly, that is tracking system filter, whatever the recruiters will be using, companies will be using, you will be strategically using those keywords. Resume template with right keywords in it. And also remember, Naukri will be catching your algorithm and LinkedIn will be catching your algorithm respectively. And the other thing, Naukri, LinkedIn, your resume and GitHub. Okay. GitHub is a space where you can just grab your respective projects and you can just add your links to your profile also. There are so many spaces. Get some free projects from GitHub and different spaces and then add those projects to your profile. While all of these are about upskilling part, add capstone projects to your profile. Okay. Get platforms which will be talking about projects and add projects to your profile. It will be making you stand out compared to your peers who are applying for the same role. Okay. And the other important thing all of you should be aware is, last thing, Naukri is not about you applying for companies. Okay. Recruiters will reach you. We are working on the inbound calls and not outbound. For example, आपको कुछ जरूरत है, right? And या फिर मुझे कुछ जरूरत है and I've reached you. Then I'll be always happy to pay you as what you demand or what actually you're worth of, rather than you applying for me. Okay. And there was a time when you should apply for every role, but it is not that time. Naukri, there are recruiters who will reach you. You just need profile customization and keyword customization, right? So Naukri is your big magic mind that you'll be focusing on. And LinkedIn में आपको jobs जो होंगे वहां पे outbound है. LinkedIn में you need to apply. Naukri में you will be getting inbound calls. LinkedIn is about your supportive profile. Okay, you might get calls on LinkedIn, but which is rare. LinkedIn is majorly outbound. Outbound मतलब आपको apply करना होगा roles को, and you will get calls respectively. Okay, you have got other profiles, other platforms as Glassdoor, Shine, etc. But focus only on Naukri and LinkedIn for now. It is good. Any queries with respect to anything, students?
No, ma'am.
Ma'am, actually, I do have a query. The thing is that earlier you mentioned that when we are thinking about MBA, what we have to do is first we need to have a work experience of 2 years. That gives us a particular insight on what we really want to pursue. But will it be true even in the case of internships? If we are doing internships while in the 4th year itself, will we be getting that quality of insight?
Okay, so you mean that instead of working 1 to 2 year full time, if you're working only on internships, can you just use only internships and then you can just aim at masters, is what you're talking about?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, great. Internships are a great internships are really great, where you can add your profile build your profile respectively wherever you're aiming for masters or jobs. But internship and job is completely different, and we should always refer this to case basis. Reason being, you might not there are internships where you get deeper experience and understanding of it. There might be internships where you're only having peripheral understanding and experience in it, right? So it depends from one internship to another, one individual to another, one company to another. What is your requirement? Do you feel that you have really gained that deeper knowledge in your respective internship? You're good to go. You can directly go to masters. However, majority of the times you will not get that deeper experience in your internship. Hence it is suggested that you will be working you can this is recommended approaches. You can work for 1 or 2 years and then you can just opt the respective MBA or masters.
Okay.
Yeah.
Ma'am, you muted yourself.
Okay, yeah. And also you shouldn't think that 2 years I need to wait. You do not even understand how your 2 years will be flying off. Trust me. You might think that 2 years is a big time. Okay, why should I wait for 2 years? Let me do off MBA now. You might have that tinge in you, but the experience and exposure that you'll be getting with that respective experience of 1 or 2 years is completely different scenario. However, if you are pretty much content that you have that enough knowledge that you're choosing your respective MBA with complete awareness of industry at this point, like for example, if I did an internship for 6 months and I really got the clarity of what is the industry scenario, and then I'm choosing some path out of clarity, then you can go for masters. On the other hand, you are having internship, you are still not clear about what is to be done. So it is here not about your 2 years experience, 1 year experience, or your internship. It's about your awareness. Do you have that awareness? Are you taking your decision with awareness or just still in a dilemma? I'm not sure if you have opted your engineering branch by conscious awareness. Okay.
Ma'am,
Majority.
I have opted for my computer engineering diploma and then degree with conscious awareness.
Great. So that is great, which is a rarer thing. But however, in India, majority do not opt the branches consciously. They just opt because that is the on-demand one, right? So hence, when you're opting masters, at least you should be always conscious about that you're opting some stream which is in line with your interest, and then you can grow in that, rather than just doing any random thing, whether that may be MDA, MTech, MS, anything it may be. Okay. Yeah. Any other queries?
Yes,
Students?
ma'am, I have a question.
Yeah, please.
Ma'am, as you know about the current pandemic situation, uh, and how it did affect the education system, right? Students are not learning in that effective way, which they have to be, which causes them lack of skill set. So my question is, will recruiters consider all these things in mind while they recruit?
Great. That's a good question. Thank you. Okay. See, there was a time when maybe 10 years ago or at least 15 years ago, where a computer science engineer should do a computer science engineering related job only and should have everything in line with the same role. Okay. If you're choosing one subject, your everything next role should be in line with the same thing. Now you can see someone who is joining with a hardware engineering part, or maybe someone in the mechanical stream can jump to a core HR thing, and then someone with HR thing jumps to data analyst part, from data analyst part to big data. So it's like people have been transitioning careers directly. We call this a single jump, double jump. Like for example, if it's a single jump, it is like you're exploring a respective role, and that same role you're opting a different industry maybe. And if it is double jump, your industry is different and your role is also different. Okay. So like this, we call under career jumps as single jump, double jump, triple jump. Now I've given you this example because there was a time 10 years before when everything was prerequisite that this should be like this only. You should have education in this only, and you should have the job relevant to your education only, which is very particular. Now there is so much of flexibility in it. Okay. When the career path itself have got flexibility, just imagine that now recruiters are looking for skill set. No matter whether you have completed your engineering now or maybe 1 year ago, as a recruiter, I'm having some expectation because my sales team has brought in some project. हमारे बिजनेस के हमारे ऑर्गेनाइजेशन के लिए एक प्रोजेक्ट है जो हम देख रहे हैं कि एक रिसोर्स को इसको इम्प्लीमेंट करना है. क्या आपके पास उतना स्किल सेट है? सिंपल एज दैट. Agar if you are that person who has got the skill set, who will be able to clear the rounds, pretty clear that recruiters do not give any importance to anything else. Okay. However, maintain a basic academic, because you're just freshers and all, try to maintain basic good percentage in your academics. It will be an added advantage for you. ओके, एंड द सेकेंड थिंग इज, एज आई सेड, इंटरव्यू का आपको 3-4 राउंड होंगे, राइट? फर्स्ट राउंड आपका कॉल कैसे आता है? बेस्ड ऑन योर नौकरी प्रोफाइल, आपका फिल्ट्रेशन में आप रेज्यूमे में क्या रखे हैं. सो दिस इज वेयर योर फर्स्ट राउंड ऑफ फिल्ट्रेशन हैपेंस. After you're having your call, then your respective HR, whoever is talking to you, will understand, will ask about your brief. Okay, then you will explain yourself. For this, remember, आपके पास बाकी सब कुछ टेक्निकल स्किल सेट है, प्रोफाइल कस्टमाइजेशन है, एवरीथिंग इज देयर. Prepare for interviews with mock interviews as well. That will be an advantage for you. Okay. So now, while you're answering it, उसके बाद then you'll be having a set of your technical round. ठीक है, HR round, technical round, and then your final negotiation round होता है. Right. So there is, through this entire process, so industry doesn't look of what exactly is your current scenario, because everyone is aware of the pandemic. On the other hand, everyone is also aware that students of the current generation are pretty smart and are utilizing the resources to fullest. We have 20 odd somethings who are starting up companies and just entering the unicorn status as well in the startup scenario, right? So there is no rigid thing that you should be like this only, you should have already this approach only for your upskilling. It is only skill set that matters. It doesn't matter whether you have followed a particular approach or a different approach. Clear? Is your query clear, Mr. Dalvi?
Yes.
Okay, great. Any other queries, students? Any other query?
मैम मेरा एक क्वेश्चन ऐसा था कि अगर किसी स्टूडेंट्स के पास में अगर जीरो नॉलेज है कोडिंग के रिलेटेड, सॉफ्टवेयर के रिलेटेड, दो क्वेश्चन इसमें ऐसे है कि वो आगे अपने फ्यूचर के लिए इस इंजीनियरिंग, इस इंडस्ट्री के लिए वो क्या कर सकते. दूसरी चीज, आप उसको क्या सजेस्ट करोगे कि उसके पास तो कुछ नॉलेज वगैरह है नहीं, आप उसको क्या सजेस्ट करोगे कि अपनी लाइफ, अपनी करियर के बारे में?
ग्रेट. तो थर्ड ईयर में है या फाइनल ईयर में? क्योंकि अप्रोच भी होता कि टाइम अपने पास कितना है. थर्ड ईयर या फाइनल ईयर, कौन से ईयर में?
थर्ड ईयर में.
थर्ड ईयर में, ठीक है. द एडवांटेजेस, आपके पास अभी टाइम है, ठीक है, अगर ऐसे स्टूडेंट है तो. फिर अभी आपको क्या देखना है कि अभी मार्केट में क्या चल रहा है. सब चीज के लिए पहले हमेशा करियर ग्रोथ के लिए आपको मार्केट अवेयरनेस की बहुत सख्त जरूरत है, ठीक है. सो व्हेन वी से मार्केट अवेयरनेस में क्या क्या आता है कि क्या चल रहा है अभी, ठीक है, इंडिया में क्या चल रहा है और ग्लोबल सिनेरियो में क्या चल रहा है. आपको मतलब रेयरली ऐसे मतलब रैंडमली देखने की जरूरत नहीं है. करियर पाथ्स क्या क्या है अभी मार्केट में इज व्हाट यू शुड अंडरस्टैंड, ठीक है. अगर उसके लिए सर्च करोगे तो कि अभी ऑन डिमांड करियर पाथ्स क्या है, पहले आप टेक्नोलॉजीज भी मत देखो, ऑन डिमांड करियर्स क्या है, ठीक है. वो देखने के बाद आपको समझ में आ जाएगा कि कौन कौन से करियर पाथ है जिसका अभी डिमांड है, अभी भी डिमांड है, नेक्स्ट 5 साल के भी डिमांड है और नेक्स्ट 10 साल के लिए भी. हाउएवर, बिकॉज अभी काफी ज्यादा तेजी के साथ टेक्नोलॉजी एवोल्यूशन हो रहा है, वी डू नॉट नो कि 10 साल के बाद सेम, जैसे फॉर एग्जांपल वी हैड आर्टिफिशियल इंटेलिजेंस, नाउ इट इज ऑगमेंटेड इंटेलिजेंस, टुमारो इट विल बी समथिंग एल्स. इट इज मोर अबाउट रिक्वायरमेंट, नेसेसिटी क्या है. टेक्नोलॉजी क्यों एवोल्यूशन होता है, टेक्नोलॉजी में एवोल्यूशन क्यों आता है? इट्स बिकॉज आप अभी एंड यूजर्स है, आपको कुछ जरूरत, यू आर रनिंग, मतलब हम सभी का क्या है, वी आर रनिंग, वी आर इन द रनिंग लाइफ्स, वी आर नॉट हैविंग द स्लो लिविंग टाइम्स, राइट? वी आर रनिंग ऑन आवर फीट. सो इतने मतलब फास्ट पेस एनवायरनमेंट में वी वांट टेक्नोलॉजी टू बी आवर सेवियर और मे बी टू बी आवर हेल्पिंग थिंग, राइट? सो इसलिए टेक्नोलॉजी में काफी ज्यादा एवोल्यूशन आती है across domains, healthcare, fintech, everything. So जब आपको एवोल्यूशन वहां पे आ रहे हैं तो देन आपका करियर पाथ्स क्रिएट होते हैं, राइट? जहां पे डिमांड है वहां पे आपको उसके रिगार्डिंग करियर पाथ्स इमर्ज होते हैं. सो जब आपके नया करियर पाथ्स इमर्ज होते हैं तो उसमें आपकी इंटरेस्ट कहाँ है आप देखो. इफ यू आर नॉट क्लियर विथ एनीथिंग, आप उस करियर पाथ कैसा है, मतलब उसका डे इन डे आउट रोल्स एंड रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटीज क्या है देख लो, ठीक है. अगर आपको कोडिंग साइड इंटरेस्टेड नहीं है तो आप दूसरी तरफ लाइक मैंने आपको कहा कि एनालिटिकल साइड जाओ आप, एनालिटिकल साइड भी आपको इतना मतलब यू नॉट फाइंडिंग इट वेल, देन ऑप्ट सम अदर डोमेन, जैसे कि फॉर एग्जांपल फिनेंस में इफ देयर इज समथिंग व्हिच इज टेकी बट व्हिच डजंट इंक्लूड कोडिंग साइड एंड ऑल, देन ऑप्ट सम पर्टिकुलर करियर पाथ इन इट। लेकिन इन सब के लिए पहले आपको खुद के बारे में पता होना चाहिए कि आपको क्या इंटरेस्टेड है। एंड वो कब आपको पता चलेगा, व्हेन आप मार्केट को देख रहे हैं, आपको खुद को समझ में आ जाएगा कि ये मुझे इंटरेस्ट है, ये मुझे नहीं इंटरेस्टेड है, ये मुझे इंटरेस्टेड है। एंड ऑल्सो स्टूडेंट्स, आई विल गिव वन पर्सनैलिटी असेसमेंट टेस्ट लिंक, आप सभी वो लो, आपको मतलब पता चल जाएगा कि व्हाट आर योर स्ट्रेंथ्स एंड व्हाट आर योर वीकनेसेस, व्हाट इज योर पर्सनैलिटी टाइप, आपको खुद को एक आइडिया आ जाएगा। टेक दिस एज रेफरेंस, आई एम जस्ट शेयरिंग द लिंक इन the chat box. So based on the psychology, there are 16 personality types. There are, however, multiple, personality tests. Yeah. Now I'll tell you one thing, which is a subtle thing that all of you should know. Every individual is different.
Okay. Got the link. I was just mentioning about the link.
Yeah. So every individual is different. So while every individual is different, the circumstances, मतलब हर कोई अपने अपने बचपन से जो circumstances experience किए हैं उसके हिसाब से उनकी personality बनती है, right? And the way they react, the way they respond to things is different compared to others who have got different resources and different experiences. So this is where we talk about the personality part. Now, आपके पर्सनालिटी के लिए आपकी स्ट्रेंथ क्या है और उसके लिए कौन सी करियर पाथ आपका ज्यादा मैच होता है, इज व्हाट यू शुड अंडरस्टैंड। देन उसके हिसाब से आप उसके लिए तैयारी कर सकते हैं। अनफॉर्चुनेटली इंडिया में क्या हो रहा है अभी कि एवरीवन थिंक्स दैट सबको कोडिंग में जाना है, सबको एनालिटिकल में जाना है। सो दिस इज द वे पीपल आर अप्रोचिंग टू थिंग्स, बट दैट इज नॉट द आइडियल अप्रोच, because every personality is unique, every personality has got strengths and weaknesses. So you shouldn't choose a career path where your weaknesses are aligned, right? You should choose a career path where your strengths are aligned. And computer science में आपको advantage ये है कि because that is the most heart of all the industries, you can just opt any career path with coding or without coding, with just database management or anything, without any bigger dilemma in it. ठीक है, अगर बाकी डिपार्टमेंट्स है तो while they also have multiple opportunities, compared to other domains you have got more opportunities. तो इसलिए जरूरी नहीं है कि आपको कोडिंग में जाना है। और आप इस चीज को कैसे प्लान करोगे, पहले आप खुद के बारे में जानिए, पर्सनालिटी टेस्ट लीजिए, उसके बाद अंडरस्टैंड कि मार्केट में क्या क्या करियर पाथ है, उसके बाद आपके इंटरेस्ट के हिसाब से सारे करियर पाथ को, जो टॉप 10 करियर पाथ है उसको एक्सप्लोर कीजिए, आपको समझ में आ जाएगा। एक हफ्ता नहीं, एक महीना लीजिए, इट्स परफेक्ट। उसके बाद आप शॉर्टलिस्ट करो, उसके बाद उसके स्किल सेट क्या है आप पता कर लो, और आप में वो कौन सा स्किल सेट है। अगर कुछ भी नहीं है तो ग्राउंड जीरो से स्टार्ट करें तो स्टिल परफेक्टली फाइन, बट स्टार्ट समवेयर। एंड देन वो जैसे मैंने बताया है उस पर्टिकुलर स्किल सेट को आप आउटलाइन कहाँ पे मिल रहा है वो देख लो, उसके बाद देन यू स्टार्ट इम्प्लीमेंटिंग थिंग्स, आप स्किलिंग करो, उसके बाद रेज्यूमे करो। रिमेंबर, इट्स नॉट नेसेसरी दैट एवरीवन नोस एवरीथिंग फ्रॉम डे वन ओनली, दे विल स्टार्ट समवेयर। सबसे पहले आपको सिर्फ डिजायर होना चाहिए, मुझे वो बनना है या फिर मुझे कुछ करना है, मुझे वहां पे जाना है। तो इट्स गुड दैट यू आस्क्ड दिस क्वेश्चन, यू कैन जस्ट स्टार्ट नाउ। ठीक है, इज योर क्वेरी एड्रेस्ड? आपको क्लैरिटी मिल गया है?
Yes.
Okay, good, all the best. Yeah, कोई और in case if you have got any queries, anyone else?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, please.
I want to do my career in full stack development. So how can I start to learning?
Okay, Shweta. So first you understand what is the career path of full stack. ठीक है, full stack मतलब आपको front end back end दोनों का expectation है, और packages full stack development में high है। ठीक है, so because when you are aiming at full stack development, you should be comfortable with coding as well and the design part as well. Okay, so when we talk about full stack, उसमें अभी market में not just about the packages but opportunities wise भी काफी ज्यादा demand है। So पहले आप career path का whatever we said, right, these 7 steps are there, you just implement these steps। आपको खुद को समझ में आ जाएगा कि where you stand currently in the skill set, आपको क्या skill set सीखना है। And then by the end of 7th step, you will understand that skill gap analysis. Task के बाद I will share this with Dubey sir. Dubey sir आप सबसे share करेंगे वो. फिर उसके बाद then you can just start working on that task part. So then you will understand where you are and then you can start implementing the things. As you start upskilling part, उसके लिए कैसे full stack development में काफी courses है. So then how you do is just explore different full stack certification courses. Get the outline and outline में आपको समझ में आ जाएगा कि कौन कौन से modules है. Then start working on the respective modules free resources. Like for example, full stack development पे आपका CSS है या फिर कुछ और है, right? CSS free course. In this way, get all the upskilling from all the free courses or free certifications with respect to that modules. And then have this first thing is checklist of your core technical skill set. Then comes the soft skills. Soft skills में what all is needed? English, if you're good with it, checklist it, clear. If you're not good with it, again include that in your learning curve. So then along with that is your interview preparation, which will come on the later space. But prior to that is when you're preparing your learning curve, you should understand कि आपको technical skill set के साथ साथ क्या आपको soft skills की भी जरूरत है, communication skills की भी जरूरत है या नहीं, right? And in that way you will be just customizing the things accordingly and working on your profile customization part, profile building part. Once that is built, then you'll be working on the customization part. Is that clear, Shweta?
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
Okay. Sure, great. Anyone else? Any other query or we are good to go?
Ma'am, you said earlier about the Google certifications. So I just want to know about it, like what it is.
Okay, so Google is providing free certifications under data science as well, machine learning as well, cloud computing. There are multiple certifications under Google. So why I've given you Google as example is it's obviously the Jane, right? So when you have paid certifications, on the other hand, you have got free certifications from Microsoft or Google. Microsoft, I'm not very particular, but you might have few certifications as well. You can just give a check. But from Google, you have got data analyst related thing or machine learning related thing or digital marketing related thing. So there are multiple things that are applicable. And also students, in case if someone is interested in SEO, digital marketing and all, you can just work on that as well because you have got opportunity for that as well. So hence, yeah, you can just work on Saurabh, what are the entire certifications offered by Google, and then you can select whatever is in line with your career path.
Okay, thank you.
Sure. Anyone else? Any other query or we are good to go?
Ma'am, what about software testing?
Testing. So are you talking about automating automated one or maybe manual? Which testing?
Automation and performance testing.
Okay, great. So in that space, what you can do is first you understand what is the entire career path under testing, what are the future opportunity. Like for example, from analyst or maybe associate analyst, we have seen that there is senior analyst or maybe reaching and aiming at data scientist. Under testing, using testing, what is the next level of thing that you can land or aim at after 4 years or 5 years or maybe down the lane of what is the career path for that in 10 years, right? Along with the testing, you can also add RPA, that is robotic process automation to it, right? And then you will be the on-demand resource. If you're only into manual testing, I would not suggest only manual testing or some kind of replaceable thing, but rather what is a new age thing, you can add that along with your career path. Okay, and then you can just plan your upskilling and the 7 steps remain the same for you as well.
Okay.
Okay, great. Anyone else or shall we wind up the session?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, great students. Thank you for your time and it was great meeting you all. I hope before the session now you have got some clarity of what is profile building, what is profile customization, what is the industry about. Did you get
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Totally.
Okay, great. All the best. For any queries, you can just reach me out also on my email address. I'm just dropping it, or maybe you can just send it on LinkedIn as well. I'll be happy to help.
Thank you, ma'am.
So while this is about profile building awareness webinar, you can also, in case if you're interested for dedicated, I do not recommend anyone towards any kind of dedicated help until you actually feel that you need that. In case if you feel that, you can just reach me for any particular program if you feel under profile building part, in case at any point in future. Okay. On queries regarding your profile building part or career growth part, you can just reach me on this email address. And then you can reach me on the WhatsApp on this number. while I cannot respond immediately, I will definitely respond, but I would need some time because I might be in some meetings or something.
Hello. Yes, ma'am. I
Yes,
think
ma'am.
no one has no one have doubts now. Okay. So thank you so much, ma'am, for guiding our students on very important topic that is for landing high package jobs. Okay. And we expect this type of session in future
Sure.
on more topics. Okay. Thank you, ma'am. Okay.
Sure.
Thank
Yes,
you
ma'am.
also.
Thank you. Well, thanks a lot, ma'am.
Sure.
Thank you, ma'am.
Okay, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
All the best, everyone.
Thank you, ma'am.
Yeah, I've just shared my contact details where you can just reach me out on any further queries. Best wishes.
Okay, ma'am.
Okay, students. How was session?
Nice.
Okay. Okay then, chalo. Bye all of you. Take care.